Welcome back to Phenom Fantasy. This is the Week 9 recap. So glancing over these extremely good matchups. Last week, Tatanka Blanco versus Wrecking Crew. Wrecking Crew pulled this out 116 to 94. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Did the general public think that Tatanka Blanco was going to win? Of course they did. Did I think they were going to win? Of course I did. I mean, I have no reason to doubt that that was going to happen just because uh, I'm used to a certain amount of success. And so, you get accustomed to that. I'm not the predictor. These lines come from Vegas. Everybody thought I was going to win, but that's just what happened. I mean, to be honest, guys, sometimes you just get beat. And here's the thing: Jonathan Taylor significantly scored less than his average. Had he done that, had he scored what his average was, I mean, almost tack on another 20. It's 136 to 94. Uh, I was the third highest scorer of the week, and nobody would have even came close to Wrecking Crew. It is what it is. I mean, he's a two-time champion. I mean, have I beat him this year? Of course, but just like I beat most everybody, sometimes I lose so often. I lose. I hardly ever lose. So when your entire career is full of successes, sometimes you just forget the little tiny stuff, because we're always looking for the next week. But it is what it is. Wrecking Crew, two-time champion. At this point, if he doesn't win a third, I mean, it'll probably be myself. So it is what it is. It's with heavy heart to tell you that I lost this week. Sometimes you just lose. I don't know what else to say. This week, Tickle Shits versus Lamborghini. This was a 93-88 matchup for Lamborghini. Lamborghini pulls it out. I think I predicted that. I mean, as you knew that I would have. 3-6 versus 4-5. I mean, you're both on the losing side of the records. I don't know if either of you will have a winning season, but you got to keep pressing on. You got to keep on keeping on. You can't let anybody get you down. I mean, you have to have confidence for the future. But you got to start something. You got to build somewhere. You guys are. I mean, Rusty's never been particularly good. You do have that one championship Lamborghini. I know I've spent some weeks saying like, "Yo, man, this is unfamiliar territory." I don't know. It's been so long since you were good, and you're 4-5. I guess you're just not good at fantasy, but you did win this week. But you're gonna have to try really hard to get in the winning category. Then we have Red Nuts versus Lloyd's team as a garbage can. Both 5-4. I think that's after this week. So you're both now setting at 5-4. Still on the winning side of the bracket. Garbage can 190. You won by 10 points. You probably would have won by more actually, but Puka got hurt. I think he had the amount of points he had at halftime. I think that's when he got hurt, right before. So it could have been a lot more lopsided because looking at Red Nuts' roster, I mean, negative or positive, pretty much everybody scored just about what they were projected. George Kittle's down, Raiders defense was down, but other than that, I mean, he just had a better team this week. But he is a professional at his own respective sports. Sometimes that spills in, that drive spills in to this Red Nuts. So you're a subpar manager, and but that's how it goes. You got to start somewhere. Everybody has a bottom. Some of you are actually there. Some of you are close, but you haven't met rock bottom yet, so you don't know what that is. Maybe another year. Before you figure it out. But Willie Bad versus Downtown St. Brown. Willie Bad, you won by 4. I think I projected that one too. So where does that put me at? Yeah, man, I think I'm 2-1 right now, and this is the third game. I think this made me 3-1 on the week. So good job, Willie Bad. I mean, I knew going into it, you had a lot of heart. You had a lot of spunk. You know what I mean? I know the drive's there. Unfortunately, it's only been there with any success 3 times as of last week. Downtown St. Brown, you lost. I know you were hot for a minute. You're currently back to where your team started. Willie Bad is not really good at fantasy. It's the fact that you lost to him. I know it's kind of embarrassing. I mean, some things you can't do anything about, but your roster looks that's about what it was projected. Xavier Worthy, he was six less than he was supposed to be, but Xavier Worthy, does he really have big games? Honestly, like does he? I don't think he does. I don't think he's really that good. I think Mahomes leaned on him one time for like half a season, and past that, I don't think he's that good. Over here, Tyrone Tracy, he's definitely not Scatabo, and he scored nine less than he's supposed to, and that's about where he's going to be. If you go look at his yearly total, he's actually not very good week to week. Maybe he scored a touchdown one week, and it kind of skewed the numbers. But really, I know it's just mouthing downtown St. Brown. You did have one player that went unbelievably nuts, and that was the difference maker because you would have lost. If your guy scored 23 less points, if he just scored his average, uh, you'd have got beat in double digits. So, but I'm glad I picked that, Willie Bud. Next, we have bye week versus rebuilding season. I know I took bye week on this because rebuilding season. Though he's 6-3, and though I was like, oh man, you got to go with them. I think this is a couple losses in a row. I mean, so he's getting back to par. He did win so many that honestly, I think Mitchell rebuilding season ends up with a winning record. I think he probably will have five losses there. So I mean, he's going to end up just fine, but definitely not an elite manager yet. This year could go a long way with that. If you end up with a losing record, then you're right back to where you started. Nobody was really shocked. I think more of the shock would be that you'd be the winning manager. I don't know what else to say because I don't want to be negative. Now, it sounded like this week I was negative, and that's not what I want to do. I want to be uplifting. And so, some of you guys that are not where you want to be, let's just do things to get better. Let's do more research. But there's actually. So the way it shakes out right now, Cody is number one. I think he's the number one ranked team. I'm not looking at the power rankings, but I'm assuming that he is at 6-3. That came out of nowhere since you had some losses early. Rebuilding season. You're at the top of your division. You're tied with me, but that's because I play better defense and we just have lower scoring games. But I mean, am I actually better than you? Yeah, probably. It's not that big a deal. But Cody has more points for. He's the only one over 1,000. Mitchell, you were up on me points wise, 48 points. That's the difference. So if we both continue to win and I don't outscore you, you're still going to be in second position. Then rounding out the top three, I guess technically I'm third, but whatever. I mean, that's where we're at. Red Nut sits in 4. Will's team, Garbage Can, you're at 5. So the rest of you do better. Okay, let's just get to the prediction show. I don't like to dwell on the past. You know what I mean? So let's just get to that. Love all Yuns.